Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. All right, all you positive heads, ho, 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 welcome back to the show. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the things, all the celebrations, anything you can think of, any of them I haven't thought of. Merry Festivus, all of it. I'm happy to be here. I hope you're happy to be here tuning in as well. It's a beautiful day, and I love this time of year. It's, people seem just a little friendlier, a little more open. Shouldn't that be like all the time? I think we're getting there. We're all getting there, right? Slowly but surely. Surely, sometimes not even slowly. Let's see. What am I going to talk about today? Well, let's see. I have a somewhat holiday-inspired discussion here, since this is the last episode before Christmas, which, of course, for me, growing up in the South, in Virginia, Christmas is sort of, I don't think they'd ever heard of anything else. So we celebrate Christmas in my family. So, and it's not really, obviously, as I would say, I'm very spiritually minded, not religious. So it has nothing to do with the religious aspect of it. It's, it's about family and sharing and connecting and all those things. And, there's some interesting stuff, of course, floating out there that I find really fascinating, like the real meaning behind Christmas, though. There's so many things that are sort of have been packaged and sold to us, right? And really what's really going on with the holiday and where it came from. And of course, if you look into the history of it, it was, the Romans who wanted to really make Christianity prevalent, and so they sort of smacked Jesus's birthday on top of all these pagan holidays, and there's just a lot when you dig into it. Of course, you have the Santa Claus. I actually posted in the Positive Heads Facebook group earlier a little video that talks about shamans who would pick the psychedelic psilocybin mushrooms in Siberia, the red and white ones, and they would hang them on a tree to dry, and how that's really, and they would dress sort of like Santa Claus. And so that's sort of the history behind, of course, reindeer were their spirit animals. And of course, when you take some psilocybin mushrooms, flying reindeer aren't too far of a stretch. So really fascinating when you kind of dig into it all. It's like so much. There's so much more going on under the surface. And of course, there's in that little video I shared, you guys can check it out if you haven't seen it. And if you haven't joined the Positive Heads Facebook group, you should do it. And check it out. You can see even some, older spiritual imagery where it shows like the halo around the spiritually enlightened guy, which looks like the underside of a mushroom. And so, I know this. I've talked to a lot of people who, I've met a lot of people who their first spiritually opening experience came through psilocybin mushrooms. So, and of course, some of the research even recently is fascinating, actually showing it stimulates brain cell growth, which is something we did not believe happened once you get out of, adolescence. And so there's some really interesting stuff to consider and check out there about, what the Christmas holiday sort of represents and where it really stems from. And like so many things, it it kind of shows that it's all really a hodgepodge and tied together. And there's this sort of more fascinating underside of spirituality, which I'm a fan of course, psychedelics and using them as a medicine. Not so much as I have at times in the past. I think they serve people and can serve people really, really well in the awakening process. They're a medicine. Of course, like anything, it can be bad to do too much of anything. It's bad if you drink too much water, you're going to die. So yeah, that's my little thought on Christmas. As I've been kind of contemplating it this morning a little bit, with it being a couple days away. But the most important element of the holiday that I want to talk about is the giving element, right? And this is something that, yes, it's been commercialized and turned into a way to sort of create profit and all these things. But there's such a good lesson there, and not just giving gifts. I mean, giving gifts is wonderful. It's a great thing. It can be a great thing. But more important than giving stuff, because of course that's a lot of the complaints you hear is we don't need more stuff. And more people are becoming aware of that. Well, so what if we find new ways to give and new ways to give at the holidays? And what are some of the ways that you can give of yourself? And giving of yourself is really your time, your energy, your attention, is really the most valuable gift a person can give, I believe. You guys have heard me talk about it quite a few times. Halcyon, a friend of mine who does Hug Nation, he talked a little bit about this when I saw him a few months ago at a festival, and I thought it was really fascinating. He talked about giving. He talks about giving a lot, gives workshops and so forth on it, and he was talking about when I sell you something, there's a transaction. It's a sum zero. I give you something, you give me something. They cancel each other out. It's a sum zero. But if I give something from my heart with pure intent, not for recognition or, any other sort of misguided reasons, when it's pure intent, it actually becomes a sum too. Because first off, you are feeling wonderful in the act of giving, and the person receiving is feeling wonderful. There's actually a chemical, reaction in the brain that happens that we can see it from a scientific standpoint, and anyone viewing that act of kindness, of generosity, is benefiting and releasing endorphins in their brain, and the whole thing. Taking drugs, which is what essentially our brains are, right? They're just creating all these different things like endorphins and oxytocin and on and on and on. And we love the ones that feel good. They're the ones that give us that rush, from the scientific standpoint. So giving of yourself is really, and what he talked about is, it really becomes the ultimate thing when you realize, hold on, this is where the magic is at. This is where the currency, right? Currency is supposed to flow. You're giving, this is where it's at. Giving of self is where it feels the best. And of course, I talk about it all the time on the show, and we continue to circle the subject because I want all of us to get in the flow and find purpose and happiness, create happiness. And this creates and cultivates happiness and peacefulness. So serving others, of course, and then the ultimate underlying of it all, there is no others, right? You're always giving to an extension of self. So giving this some thought today, and I was like, what is the greatest gift we can give? It's giving of ourself. And what's the ultimate way someone could give of themselves? What's the ultimate way a soul could give of themselves? And it instantly made me think of the book, the children's book you guys have heard me reference multiple times, The Little Soul in the Sun by Neale Donald Walsch. And he actually wrote Conversations with God, which are some of my favorite. It's a set of books. There's, I think, 5 or 6 of them or something, but they're awesome. Absolutely love them. Highly recommend them. But this is a little mini children's version. And I thought to myself, what is the greatest gift we can give? The greatest gift a soul can give? And that book popped into my head, and I thought, you know what? They've heard me talk about it enough. I should actually find it and read it. And I did. So this is The Little Soul in the Sun, a children's parable by Neale Donald Walsch. And here it goes. Once upon no time, there was a little soul who said to God, I know who I am. And God said, that's wonderful. Who are you? And the little soul shouted, "I'm the light." God smiled a big smile. "That's right," God exclaimed. "You are the light." The little soul was so happy, for it had figured out what all the souls in the kingdom were there to figure out. "Wow," said the little soul, "this is really cool." But soon, knowing who it was not enough. The little soul felt stirrings inside, and now wanted to be who it was. And so the little soul went back to God, which is not a bad idea for all souls who want to be who they really are, and said, "Hi, God, now that I know who I am, is it okay for me to be it?" And God said, "You mean you want to be who you already are?" "Well," replied the little soul, "it's one thing to know who I am, and another thing altogether to actually be it. I want to feel what it's like to be the light." "But you already are the light," God repeated, smiling again. "Yes, but I want to see what that feels like," cried the little soul. "Well," said God with a chuckle, "I suppose I should have known you always were the adventuresome one." Then God's expression changed. "There's only one thing." "What?" asked the little soul. "Well, there's nothing else but the light. You see, I created nothing but what you are, and so there is no easy way for you to experience yourself as who you are, since there's nothing that you are not." "Huh?" said the little soul, who was now a little confused. "Think of it this way," said God. "You are like a candle in the sun. Oh, you are there all right, along with a million gazillion other candles who make up the sun, and the sun would not be the sun without you. Nay, it would be a sun without one of its candles, and that would not be the sun at all, for it would not shine as brightly. Yet, how to know yourself as the light when you are amidst the light, that is the question." "Well," the little soul perked up, "you're God. Think of something." Once more, God smiled. "I already have," God said. "Since you cannot see yourself as the light when you are in the light, we'll surround you with darkness." "What's darkness?" the little soul asked. God replied, "It is that which you are not." "Will I be afraid of the dark?" cried the little soul. "Only if you choose to be," God answered. "There's nothing really to be afraid of unless you decide that there is. You see, we're making it all up. We're pretending." "Oh," said the little soul, and felt better already. Then God explained that in order to experience anything at all, the exact opposite of it will appear. "It is a great gift," God said, "because without it, you could not know what anything is like. You could not know warm without cold, up without down, fast without slow. You could not know left without right, here without there, now without then." And so God concluded, when you are surrounded with darkness, do not shake your fist and raise your voice and curse the darkness. Rather be a light unto the darkness, and don't be mad about it. Then you will know who you really are, and all others will know too. Let your light shine so that everyone will know how special you are. "You mean it's okay to let others see how special I am?" asked the little soul. "Of course," God chuckled. "It's very okay. But remember, special does not mean better. Everybody is special, each in their own way. Yet many others have forgotten that. They will see that it is okay for them to be special only when you see that it is okay for you to be special." "Wow," said the little soul, dancing and skipping and laughing and jumping with joy. "I can be as special as I want to be." "Yes, and you can start right now," said God, who was dancing and skipping and laughing right along with the little soul. "What part of special do you want to be?" "What part of special?" the little soul repeated. "I don't understand." "Well," God explained, "being the light is being special, and being special has a lot of parts to it. It is special to be kind. It is special to be gentle. It is special to be creative. It is special to be patient. Can you think of any other ways it is special to be?" The little soul sat quietly for a moment. "I can think of lots of ways to be special," the little soul then exclaimed. "It is special to be helpful. It is special to be sharing. It is special to be friendly. It is special to be considerate of others." "Yes," God agreed, "and you can be all of those things, or any part of special you want to be at any moment. That's what it means to be the light." "I know what I want to be. I know what I want to be," the little soul announced with great excitement. "I want to be the part of special called forgiving. Isn't it special to be forgiving?" "Oh, yes," God assured the little soul. "That is very special." "Okay," said the little soul. "That's what I want to be. I want to be forgiving. I want to experience myself as that." Good, said God, but there's one thing you should know. The little soul was becoming a bit impatient now. It always seemed as though there was some complication. What is it? The little soul sighed. There is no one to forgive. No one? The little soul could hardly believe what had been said. No one, God repeated. Everything I have made is perfect. There's not a single soul in all creation less perfect than you. Look around. It was then that the little soul realized a large crowd had gathered. Souls had come from far and wide, from all over the kingdom. For the word had gone forth that the little soul was having this extraordinary conversation with God, and everyone wanted to hear what they were saying. Looking at the countless other souls gathered there, the little soul had to agree. None appeared less wonderful, less magnificent, or less perfect than the little soul itself. Such was the wonder of the souls gathered around, and so bright was their light, that the little soul could scarcely gaze upon them. Who then to forgive? Asked God. Boy, this is going to be no fun at all, grumbled the little soul. I wanted to experience myself as one who forgives. I wanted to know what that part of special felt like. And the little soul learned what it must feel like to be sad. But just then, a friendly soul stepped forward from the crowd. Not to worry, little soul, the friendly soul said. I will help you. You will? The little soul brightened. But what can you do? Why, I can give you someone to forgive. You can? Certainly, chirped the friendly soul. I can come into your next lifetime and do something for you to forgive. But why? Why would you do that? The little soul asked. You who are a being of such utter perfection, you who vibrate with such a speed that it creates a light so bright that I can hardly gaze upon you. What could cause you to want to slow down your vibration to such a speed that your bright light would become dark and dense? What could cause you, who are so light that you dance upon the stars and move through the kingdom with the speed of your thought, to come into my life and make yourself so heavy that you could do this bad thing? Simple, the friendly soul said. I would do it because I love you. The little soul seemed surprised at the answer. Don't be so amazed, said the friendly soul. You have done the same thing for me. Don't you remember? Oh, we have danced together, you and I, many times. Through the eons and across all the ages have we danced. Across all time and in many places have we played together. You just don't remember. We have both been all of it. We have been the up and the down of it, the left and the right of it. We have been the here and the there of it, the now and the then of it. We have been the male and the female, the good and the bad. We have both been the victim and the villain of it. Thus have we come together, you and I, many times before, each bringing to the other the exact and perfect opportunity to express and to experience who we really are. And so, the friendly soul explained further, I will come into your next lifetime and be the bad one this time. I will do something really terrible, and then you can experience yourself as the one who forgives. But what will you do? The little soul asked, just a little nervously. That will be so terrible. Oh, replied the friendly soul with a twinkle, we'll think of something. Then the friendly soul seemed to turn serious and said in a quiet voice, You're right about one thing, you know. What is that? The little soul wanted to know. I will have to slow down my vibration and become very heavy to do this not so nice thing. I will have to pretend to be something very unlike myself. And so I have but one favor to ask you in return. Oh, anything, anything, cried the little soul and began to dance and sing. I get to be forgiving. I get to be forgiving. Then the little soul saw that the friendly soul was remaining very quiet. What is it? The little soul asked. What can I do for you? You are such an angel to be willing to do this for me. Of course, this friendly soul is an angel, God interrupted. Everyone is. Always remember, I have sent you nothing but angels. And so the little soul wanted more than ever to grant the friendly soul's request. What can I do for you? The little soul asked again. In the moment that I strike you and smite you, the friendly soul replied, in the moment that I do the worst to you that you could possibly imagine, in that very moment. Yes, the little soul interrupted. Yes. Remember who I really am. Oh, I will, cried the little soul. I promise. I will always remember you as I see you right here, right now. Good, said the friendly soul, because you see, I will have been pretending so hard, I will have forgotten myself. And if you do not remember me as I really am, I may not be able to remember for a very long time. And if I forget who I am, you may even forget who you are, and we will both be lost. Then we will need another soul to come along and remind us both who we are. No, we won't, the little soul promised again. I will remember you, and I will thank you for bringing me this gift. the chance to experience myself as who I am. And so the agreement was made, and the little soul went forth into a new lifetime, excited to be the light, which was very special, and excited to be that part of special called forgiveness. And the little soul waited anxiously to be able to experience itself as forgiveness and to thank whatever other soul made it possible. And at all the moments in that new lifetime, whenever a new soul appeared on the scene, whether that new soul brought joy or sadness, and especially if it brought sadness, the little soul thought of what God had said. Always remember, God had smiled, I have sent you nothing but angels. And there we have it, one of my all-time favorite books. It's a children's book, but really, we're all children. We're all growing and learning, and this is the ultimate perspective, isn't it? The ultimate gift we can give, I would say, is to remember who and what everyone who comes into our life truly is. Because those that have forgotten themselves, those that are doing that ugly thing, that harmful thing that really infuriates you and causes you anger or pain, if you just raise your perspective to see them for who they truly are, you realize they're an angel. They're giving you an opportunity. Someone just posted on the Positive Heads Facebook page, Vanessa says, I'm finding it difficult to let go of a grudge. It's a strong one that revisits me every day, blocks my thoughts, and makes it difficult sometimes to enjoy my nows. Sometimes I have trouble with forgiveness with extreme cases of pain. If anyone has some insight, I would really appreciate it. And what I would say, Vanessa, to that is remember, what did God say? Nothing but angels, right? This is an opportunity for you. Those are dear friends. Dr. Evan Alexander, in the interview I did with him on his experience on the other side, he said, one of the things that I was shown is that those who are the biggest villains are those we're closest to. I know in my own life, I've had a villain character, and there's so much synchronicity in our lives and surrounding my birthday, which I have all kinds of crazy synchronicity that I've talked about at some point. I know on, I think episode 2, I go into that. But anyway, so it's these people have lowered their vibration so that you can have the opportunity. And the greatest gift you can give them is remembering who and what they are. And when you do that, you have sort of graduated to a new level of understanding and perspective, and the gifts that then open up for you that come back in your direction are very plentiful. And so I encourage you to continue to be the gift, be the gift giver, be the gift acceptor. It's all the same thing. It's all connected. Funny enough, I just looked here on my screen, and I'd forgotten at the front of this podcast, as you guys know I often do, to read today's review on iTunes. So, and I just kind of read them in order as they pop up, on each episode. And today's review that I forgot to read at the top, I'm just really reading it now. Synchronicity indeed. Here, this is by Gerstenmeyer, and Gerstenmeyer said, "Love this podcast. Brandon, you were sent to us for a reason. I look forward to every one of your podcasts, as you always say something to make my day. What a gift. Your outlook on life is contagious. Please keep up the passion and positive energy. You are making this world a better place." Wow. It gives me chills. Just not even aware of what was going to be said in that review that I forgot to read. And then it just, I just realized it right now and saw it here in the corner of my screen. And yeah. So we're all gifts. That's the thing. As the story says, like, there is no greater soul. I'm no greater. I'm a reflection of all of you. And this is your opportunity to rise to the next greatest and grandest version of yourself. By understanding and giving the gift of understanding and perspective to all those that come into your life, especially those that are challenging. All right, everyone. Well, I wish you all the most wonderful holiday weekend, and it has, as always, been just a pleasure to play a role in your beautiful story. I have a song queued up here. This actually is by a listener and good friend, Melanie's brother, her name is Melanie. Her brother has a duo, and she posted their Christmas music that they just released on Bandcamp. They go by Al and Finn, and I just was checking it out. I thought it was really beautiful, and I loved the fact that half of the proceeds are gifted to the Dominican Republic, humanitarian efforts there. If you were to buy this release of Christmas tracks, and this one is called "I'll Be Home for Christmas." You all are probably familiar with it, and this is Al and Finn, and you can find it on Bandcamp. And if you donate once again, or you buy, you will be giving to people in need in the Dominican Republic. Happy holidays, everyone. I truly love you all. Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents neath the tree.
Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, and you'll be in my
I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents neath the tree. Christmas Eve